Hi everyone. How are you doing? Hoping you're hearing me. I don't see anything happening. If you can hear me, let me know. Oh boy. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. It's the first time I'm going on using my phone to do the chat. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. That would be awesome. I can't see anything on my phone. Okay, Patricia can hear me. Okay, great. It's one of those days. I'm outside and it's like, okay, I'm gonna bring my laptop. And then I left my laptop headphones and then I was fine. I'm like, okay, I have my pad and only to realize that, oh, I didn't charge my pad, so I am doing it on my phone. Now I know what Pam was struggling with when she was trying to do her, when she would come on and use her phone. I'm like, oh my God, it is weird to use the phone to do this because everything is small and look very different. So, anyways, you guys can hear me, and so that is absolutely awesome because normally my little volume thing will let me know when I'm going, when my voice is going and it's not doing anything, and I'm like, is anybody can hear me? But anyway, so I'm happy you guys can hear me. Welcome to Back to Tuesdays with Miss Petal. As you know, this is a channel that's supposed to Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Pula, Guy, Chickens, Mama Mia. All of us here at Sussex Squad, welcome, 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 my friends. All of us here in the chat and all 97 of our favorite people hanging out with us who are not in the chat. So, hello, everyone. How are you all? Happy Saturday. Um, and I just learned recently that it's Memorial Day weekend. I don't know where my brain has been like. I forgot about holidays. I wasn't even thinking about that. So hopefully you guys have, great plans for the weekend. Doing great things, whatever it is you're doing. So that is, I'm hoping, hopefully in New York. I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful day. So I am like literally just sitting outside, enjoying the beautiful day. So hopefully, it's not too loud for you, or you might hear some New York sounds in there. So don't be surprised if you hear a siren or a car or a very loud bike that's going by right now, or an airplane or something. So it's just the sounds of New York, unfortunately. So we just live with sounds here. Um, Live soundtrack. Um, But let's say hi to all my friends in the chat. So like scrolling down. Oh, hello, Black Queen is here, and LDN Lady is here, and Sharon is here. Hello, guys. Who else is here? Gwendolyn is here. Andrea. Oh, Lydia is here. Awesome moderator Lydia is here. Hey, Lydia, Brenda, and Novidi is here. Catalina. Hello, Catalina. And hello, Mia. Hello, how are you? Patricia. Bright Eyes BBJ. Wait, have I just not seen you in a while? Have I just not seen Bright Eyes BBJ? I'm happy you're here. Sherry is here. Same Sherry. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing some people. Anne is here. Hello, Anne. How are you? Gerda, Andrea, Nini. Oh, wait, Nini. Have I seen you here before, Nini? If I have and I just forgot, don't mind me. My brain sometimes goes. So if I've just missed you, hello. Bonnie is here. Hello, Bonnie and Gwendolyn and Anna and Glenn. Hi, guys. Glenn is doing the pink hand wave, pink hand wave. Faye and Ida. Hi, Ida. I think I'm assuming that's how you say your name, Ida, or Eda. Either way, it's beautiful. Mia is here. Brenda is here. Hello, hello, hello. Heather is here. Callie Jan, Rochelle. Hi, guys. Hello. And all our other friends we'll see and chat with when as we go along. Calm is here. Wendy Loman is here. Hi, guys. So we'll say hello to everyone else as we go along. And yes, I see you there, Lottie, Gwendolyn. I see you all. I see ya. I see ya. So today, like, I literally don't have an agenda. I am in between projects and I'm sitting outside and I'm like, I just want to talk to my friends, see how you guys are doing. I don't have an agenda. I have no receipts because I'm on my phone because when you're on your phone. And that's the reason I brought my laptop. But forgetting to bring the laptop headset, I can't do anything on it. And so I just wanted to chat with you, see how you are, what's going on with you, what you're getting from the royal world. I mean, our faves are quiet, and we hope they just are in this calm, peaceful. I'm actually feeling like I will. Hopefully, they're on vacation somewhere. I'm assuming Archie's school is over because this is summer break for many people, and so I'm assuming it's Archie's summer break as well. And so I'm hoping our faves, because it was Audrey's birthday recently, and then Harry and Meghan's anniversary, and now baby Lily's birthday is coming up in what is it, a couple of weeks maybe? Yeah, or maybe not even that long. And so I'm hoping that they're on vacation. I'm hoping that they're off on a private island somewhere and just relaxing away from the nonsense that's going on. So that's what I'm hoping for them and praying for them. Just want them to have peace and quiet and love and joy around them. That's all I'm hoping. And of course, because of all that ridiculous drama in New York, and I'm just, that they're just, having a good time and just enjoying each other and enjoying being family and all of that wonderful stuff. And so, um, yeah, so I don't really have an agenda for today. I have no anything. So I just want to chat. There are other stuff going on. The court cases are going on. Obviously, this is a break because it's the weekend. We know that yeah, Harry is going to be testifying at some point in June. We don't have a date yet as to when he would be testifying. I know a part of the son, I think it was his son, Hugh Grant, part of his charges or accusations against the son. It's going to go forward. Part of it, the phone hacking part of it, is not going to go forward because the judge said it was filed too late. But the blagging, I guess, and also breaking into his home, that's gonna go forward. I'm really upset that that they're not gonna do the phone hacking part because that's really I think they do that more than anything else. And so I guess the judge said it's filed too late, which kind of makes me a little bit nervous as to if that's the direction he's going to go with Harry as well. Are they going to, because again, that was one of the things that the Sun said, that the charges against them from Harry and the group that's filing with him, is that some of the charges were filed too late. And so, since the judge did that with Hugh Grant, is it going to be is he going to follow the same path and say, well, the phone hacking part of it is filed too late, or is it just a different situation? Again, part of the time when they were like, oh, it's filed too late, Harry was in Afghanistan. So, he was in Afghanistan for a couple of years and focusing on the war. So that can give him be like, well, I had more pressing issues as say war, So who knows? So we'll keep an eye and an ear on what's going on there. As we know, a few episodes ago, we were talking about, Piers Morgan, the accusations against him. Alistair Campbell talking about being hacked, and Piers Morgan, really, um, sending his people at the Mirror to go hack his voicemail and to go blag him and get personal bank account information from him to write stories in exclusive in the Mirror when Piers Morgan was the editor. So that is all going on. We know yesterday Philip Schofield finally came out and admitted, which we've known for 2 years, about his relationship with his quote unquote relationship. Basically, he groomed a teenager, he groomed a child who was about, I don't know, the child was about 13, but apparently he met the little boy when he was 10 or 11 and basically groomed him and then had a sexual relationship with him, I think when he was about 16 or something like that. He's saying that no, it's not illegal because apparently 16 is the legal age, but it's still despicable. One, because, he was in a position of power at ITV, and, he basically got the child a job at ITV to be a showrunner, to be a something like that, whatever the kid's position was there, and basically groomed him his teenage years. I mean, this has been there. This has been out in the open. We've known this because I think it was a kid who posted about it online 2 years ago. And so this whole thing, finally, he uh, supposedly resigned a few days ago, and then finally owned up to ITV bosses that yes, he did have a relationship with this kid whom he groomed. Um, and so ITV, they're basically saying that, oh, no, 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 he lied to us and all of this nonsense. Every single one of these people knew that he was doing this. I mean, I'm not in the UK and I knew that 2 years ago. This has been online for 2 years. And you're telling me that those people who work with Philip Schofield, and, some of them are now coming out and saying, for example, like Dan Wooten, who is getting dragged on Twitter because nobody believes the lies from Dan Wooten, saying that, yeah, we knew about it, and finally they were able to say something about it now. All of these people knew when Philip Schofield came out. One of the things on Byline Investigates, there is, and I'm going to put a link to this. Byline Investigates did an article about this where the son knew about this incident with this child, and they were threatening to out Philip Schofield because he had not come out yet, come out as gay as yet. They were threatening to out him. Instead, they cut a deal where Philip Schofield would come out to ITV and then give the Sun and Dan Wooten an exclusive about coming out. At which time Dan praised him about coming out and being honest and open and how he's going to help him change his life whenever. What they did, they used that coming out story to cover up the fact that he was grooming and then had this quote unquote relationship with this child. And so now they're like, oh, no, 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 we couldn't say anything. And Dan Wooten is now saying, oh, I knew, I told the executives, whatever. And, that's the reason I left ITV because of that, because they were covering up. Lie. Dan Wooten is such a liar. Dan Wooten, 2 years ago, claimed he left, and they're like, everybody is posting and, dragging him because of that, because they're posting receipts of him claiming 2 years ago that he left ITV because they didn't want him attacking the Sussexes. That's what he said. That's the reason he said he left ITV. And now he's claiming that the reason he left ITV was because he had told them about, because he knew about Philip Schofield. So everybody is calling him out for his lies, So either he's a liar on both sides, or he just wants to insert himself into this, or he is an enabler, as many of them are. You have Eamon Holmes saying the same thing. Oh, we didn't know, we were lied to. Lies, you know, lies. They were all, when he came out, they were all on set, saying how proud they are of him and how they support him and all. They all knew. I mean, for me, it is a stretch or any of the imagination that any of these people who worked with Philip Schofield did not know what he was doing, especially the fact that the kid was working right there with them, until it got kind of crazy, and then he left and went it off and worked on another, I think, Lorraine or one of those other ITV shows. And so there's this whole drama going on with that. And so Dan Wooten is getting dragged, and Eamon Holmes, and they all are getting dragged. And also Holly Willoughby, who was Schofield's, co-host. I mean, she had to have known. She's also claiming that she was lied to. Look, do I believe that that Philip Schofield lied to them at first? Yes, but I'm telling you, I don't believe that they were there all of this time and didn't know. Again, I'm in the US. If I know this, you cannot tell me that those people working with them did not know what Philip Schofield was doing. We all knew this 2 years ago. When he came out, we were all, I mean, that's when they posted that thing. That's when we found out about that. So that thing was all over trending on Twitter. So you can't tell me all of those people on Twitter did not know that this was happening, you know? And so it is just really, I mean, and there was evidence. There's like photos of them, Philip Schofield with the kid. I mean, it's just, so you can't tell me that so it's just everyone trying to basically run for cover and pretend that, oh, who me? I didn't know. Or I knew and I couldn't say anything because of please. They all were trying to cover it up, and now it all blew up, and now everybody is trying to pretend, sort of like and some of them like Dan Wooten, and they're trying to go on this moral high ground about Philip Schofield and how horrible it is. And I was like, to think somebody like Dan Wooten or Richard Eden think that they have some kind of moral high ground that they can go on to condemn Philip Schofield. It's like, dude, you know. And of course, people are, some people are tweeting about Dan Wooten because apparently he has his own sexual mess that's happening as well. And so it is just a real, and all I'm going to say is when they don't have things about the Sussexes to lie about and twist, and then they will start eating themselves. And I hope that Harry and Meghan stay far away, stay far away, that we know nothing about them for the next couple months at least. And let the royal rota and the rest of the British press eat their own, because they will have nothing else to report on. And then when they have nothing to report on, they will have to start talking about themselves because they have column inches to fill. They have money they need to make, and they have to put something in there. So this is when the royal family need to be very, very careful, because they are under prowl. If they are eating their own right now, imagine who else they're gonna come for. So there's a whole mess happening with that as well. So I'm gonna jump in on the chat. Anything you guys want to talk about, anything that I've missed. So when it says everyone in the loop of this molester ducking and hiding or select memory, very true. Very true. They're all like trying to hide, pretending, and then trying to go on this moral high ground about how horrible Philip Schofield is. I'm like, none of you, not one of you have a moral high ground that you can go in. You're all in a cesspool. Every single one of you are in the same miserable cesspool together. Not one of you can stand on any moral anything. You have no morals to begin with. So you don't have a moral high ground you can stand on to condemn anybody, no matter how wretched they are, because you are the exact same. And the very idea that they think they can, I mean, it's just the lack of self awareness in these people is unbelievable. I mean, if your name is Dan Wooten, if your name is Richard Eden, if your name is Pierce Morgan, you literally do not have one. You are a miserable person. You do not have one. So trying to condemn other people as wretched is like, hello. So it's just very, it's just like they need to have some serious mirrors in the UK, because these people literally do not see themselves at all. So anyway, let's see. Little Max says they all keep each other keep each other's secrets. All very evil people, both the BP and BRF. I'm telling you, they all are that way. And I mean, the fact that we can have Andrew and the British press is kind of like basically high covering Andrew, that alone tells you, the fact that who should anybody be surprised that, Philip Schofield, I mean, even Omid Scobie tweeted just recently, probably a couple of hours ago, and saying, now that all this stuff is coming out with Philip Schofield, that he hopes others who have done even more egregious stuff will, be outed, that their ring of protection would be stripped away so that they too would be outed. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's even worse. So I am like, I can't. It's just like, wow. And again, these same people are trying to condemn. I'm like, you don't have a ground to condemn anybody when you're in the same boat. So, let's see. Ansel says, leave them alone and they will come home to face justice. These are the ones who claim to be cream of society. What a joke. Hello. Hello. You know? Um, it is a whole mess there. It's like their whole thing is to hide and protect each other and protect it. And again, that's why they really can't call each other out, because they're all doing the same thing. I mean, that's when you think of all this stuff. That's why they can't call Andrew out. They can't hold him to any kind of a standard. They can't, be. And it's amazing that some of them are even trying to condemn Philip Schofield. I mean, when they're all in the same miserable boat together, you know, maybe not all of them groom the kid and then have, a quote unquote relationship with the kid, but a lot of them are in like situations, or other, I mean, just, for me it's just one in the same with all that stuff. Could this kind of corrupt, despicable behavior, This, but Phyllis Schofield is just this. Others are involved in either financial or whatever it is, corruption that, really should not be happening. So, and even, talk about that. He is also, and should we be surprised? Apparently, Philip Schofield is one of the, he is a part of the Princess Trust. King Charles is there. You're like, oh God. Should we be surprised? No. He's like, I don't know. I think I read that he's some kind of like an officer or something. I have to go back and read about it. But I saw it and I put my head down and was like, oh gosh. Between, Andrew, Jimmy Savile, the priest, the all, I mean, it's just like wherever there is sexual, any kind of misconduct, is fine Prince Charles is there in one of his charities. Yep. He is part of the Princess Trust. And you're like, oh Lord. It's like, where does this end? Where does this end? It doesn't, apparently. Um, let's see. Don says Karma is visiting Prince Harry and Meghan's haters. Yes, Karma definitely is. Karma is also visiting one of those GMB reporters, and maybe you guys can remind me of what her name is. She has a blonde hair, and her husband had really bad COVID, and I think the last I saw a picture of them, and she was pushing him in a wheelchair. And I don't know if I ever knew her name, but she is a presenter. And if our UK squaddies are here, maybe you can tell me what her name is. But and again, I think she had to like take some time off because her husband, he is still suffering the effects of COVID. I think now got long COVID, and he almost died. And so whatever her name is, but she's one of the presenters on GMB. Well, karma has hit her big time because she now, I don't know whatever happened with her taxes, but she now owes the government almost $1 million for taxes. They just went after her, and she owes the government now 700 and something $1,000 in taxes. So Karma definitely has visited her. So again, if any one of our UK squaddies are here, you can let me know her name. It's not Susanna. Susanna is the dark hair one. It's not her. It's the other lady with the blonde hair. So I don't know what her name is. I don't remember. I don't even know if I ever knew her name, what her name was. But yeah. So maybe y'all can tell me what her name is. And yeah, but she has almost again 700 and something £1,000. If I said dollars, I'm sorry. 770 something pounds, £1,000, sorry, that she owes the government for taxes. So very interesting. Kama is definitely coming after them with this mess. And again, also Dan Wooten too, that people are calling him out and exposing him. So there. um Umbrella. Hello, Umbrella. Have I seen you here before? Don't know. Umbrella says ITV and Holly are being dragged down. People are even saying this could bring down ITV. I can't wait for all the lies they condone about. I can't wait for all the lies they condone about H&M. Diana is slowly pulling the karma strings from above. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying, especially, I mean, whether, it brings down ITV on a whole, maybe not, but people are definitely calling for the executives of ITV to be fired. They're definitely calling for Holly to be fired because there is no way that I would believe, and I don't think anybody believes that Holly didn't know what was happening. And as soon as it started getting too hot to handle, she kind of bailed and, kind of cut off her friendship with Philip Schofield. But there is no way that anybody believed that. So they are calling for all of their heads, especially her and the executives. And the worst part about all of this, apparently last week I think it's a day or so after Philip Schofield left, they had this tribute to him where I guess they are the substitute host, um, Allison Drummond. If I said her last name wrong, I'm so sorry. I think her name is Allison Drummond or something. And then the white guy that she presents with, I don't never knew his name, but they were doing like a tribute to Philip Schofield, and I was like, that was so weird. I mean, Allison looked like she was like, Somebody like had a gun to her head, and she, well, maybe I shouldn't say that on YouTube, but she looked like a hostage, being made to say something. She was like, she knew that she shouldn't be saying. But this is again with even with these situations where even I think for me, I have such a standard with these things. I'm willing to lose my job if I knew something like this, where I knew it was wrong. I knew what he was doing was wrong. What happened was wrong. There was no way. I don't care. I would risk my job to say, no, I am not doing a tribute to this guy. This is wrong. And you could tell. They both knew this was wrong, but they did it because, they don't want to lose your job. You don't want to stand. And this is where I am so an advocate. And I admire people who stand up in the face of, you know what, I'm willing to risk my job, risk whatever, to stand up for what is right and not do stuff like this because you could tell they knew was wrong. But they were doing a tribute to someone that they know, the reason why it was not, on the up and up, why he had to quit. And yet they sat there and did it. And again, look, I understand things are hard and people don't want to lose their job, but at what point are you going to stand up? At what point are you going to say, you know what? No, I don't want to be part of this. This is wrong. I will not be part of it, and speak out. And again, this is why stuff like this carry on for so long, because people are not willing to stand up and say no and risk whatever to do what is right. And so for me, I just was like, girl, I can't believe you sat there doing this. That's crazy. And now you risk your own reputation. Oh, thank you, Grace. Kate Garraway, that is the name. There you go. Kate Garraway is the one who has serious husband, has a serious um had a serious husband, Derek Draper, who had suffered serious COVID. That's it. Yes, Kate Garraway. So she is the one that is have the tax people in the UK. I don't know what it's called. What they're called in the US is the IRS. I don't know what they call in the UK. But she had them come after her, so she is on the hook for about 700 and something thousand pounds, and I guess back taxes or something. So COVID is definitely giving her a visit. On top of that, having to take care of her husband, who is still suffering the effects of COVID. So thank you, Grace, so much. Yes, Kate Garraway. Thank you for that. Let's see. Um, uh, Oh, Wendy Jackson says the business is closed. Oh, okay. So that's right. That's right. Thank you for bringing that up. Apparently, his business, well, because he's had COVID since, I don't know, it's been what, 2 years now that he's had COVID, and or at least suffering the effects of COVID, because he was in the hospital for a while. I mean, it's amazing that he had made it through this far, but apparently, I guess he had to close his business, so they are now on the hook for this money, and so who knows what's going to happen in them with this, but on top of having to take care of her husband and then having to work, and now she got hooked with, all of this money and taxes that they have to pay. That's a lot. That's a lot. So yeah. Um, Thank you, Black Queen. She's like someone with zero moral or intestinal fortitude. I'm telling you, to go along with stuff like that they have gone along with, it's just like and again, they all work together, they're all in these shows together laughing, and I mean, it is just like, but you know you know what happened, you know and so interesting. What else? um Bonnie says, Lorraine Kelly has to pay the government as well. Oh, you're kidding. Oh my goodness, I didn't know about that one. So Lorraine has to pay the government. I know Eamon Holmes, he was trying to claim like, oh no, I only work part-time, and the government's like, you are gonna have to pay your back taxes because you didn't pay all the taxes you didn't pay all the taxes that you should have been paying. So he's on the hook as well. So all these TV people are on the hook for a lot of money. Let's see. Um, all the impossible. She's talking about Fleet Week. She's like, Fleet Week is fabulous. Last year I went to the Intrepid. This visit, the tour of it was eye catching. I went also to the submarine. Also something else. I don't know what else she wanted to write. It's funny because I mean I haven't been in mid. I mean I'm kind of in Midtown, but not really. And it's so weird because I'm so used to seeing, Marines and stuff all around the city, and I literally have not seen one. I was literally on the train today. I was like, this is weird. I have not seen any. So maybe they're all staying downtown or, in right smack in like Times Square area. But normally I would see them on the train or whatever. I have not seen anybody. I've not literally not seen one. And so not that I'm looking to go to Times Square because I avoid Times Square like the plague. So I'm like, I'm not feeling it there. So and probably because I used to work in Times Square and it's just like, oh no, I'm so over it. I'm so over that place. Let's see. So Compton Gallagher is enjoying her sailors, hanging out there in California. So there you go. Let's see who else is chatting. Sherry's like, Kate Garraway should have mind her own business. Yep, they all should have mind their own business because who is not getting divorced and who is not, having to pay this, and some of them again are in, hospital because they, whatever part of their body they've broken for whatever reason. There's been a whole host of things happening to all of these people who have come for Harry and Meghan, minding people's business, you know. So let's see. Scrolling up to see who else is chatting. Sylvia Dixon says, I remember reading that Holly and Philip's family used to go on long summer vacations together. So Holly probably knew that Philip was truly what Philip was truly like and who he truly is. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the statement, but I was on Twitter, and just before I came in here, someone was saying that Holly posted a note saying that she was lied to. I mean, while I imagine initially, he would have lied to it, but after all of this, again, this was on Twitter 2 years ago about what happened with Philip and the kid. And so while I believe maybe initially, because I would imagine he wouldn't want to say that initially, that happened, but this is not new. This kid has been had been working at ITV for a long time, and so for her to be claiming now that she was a girl, please, who are you trying to fool? I think she's trying to protect her job and not be fired, but I think people are also calling for her head because again, hello. Um, Thierry says these are the type of people that the royal family is surrounding themselves with to smear and harass Meghan on a daily basis. Exactly. And and next, I guess tomorrow when I do a podcast, I'm gonna post it in because I actually bookmarked it. Someone on Twitter, one of our squaddies, I'm assuming, screenshotted who Kensington Palace follows on Twitter. And all of these royal reporters, including the horrible ones, all of these royal reporters and royal and news outlets, think, whether it's Daily Mail or the Express or whatever, Kensington Palace follows all of these people. And it's so weird. I've never even thought of looking at their photos. I just never do. I muted them so I don't really even see what they post unless someone do a screenshot or something. But yeah, they went through and see who Kensington Palace follows. And they follow all of these royal reporters and, royal hacks. And I was just like, that is so interesting that that's who they follow. Very, very interesting. But again, you think of it, that's their rota. So they are the people that they choose to be their mouthpiece. So there you go. Um, Yes, this is very true. Gwendolyn says, comma, also visiting Ben McBean, the injured British soldier who Harry called a friend. He told Harry to shut up after his book Spare was published. They are trying to take away his disabled privileges. Yes, I saw that. And I didn't respond to him because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to park my feelings and bite my tongue because when he first posted, about telling Harry to shut up and not, questioning the people around Harry. I had responded to him and saying, of all the people, you should be ashamed of yourself for telling another vet to shut up when they are working through trauma. And so he had all this excuse that he could say what he wants. He's not a people pleasing person, something like that. So I mean, I deleted my tweet. When I did, I was like, you know what? I'm just, he's a vet. He's whatever. I'm just not going to respond to him, and I just left it alone. And then that's when I saw a couple few days ago, a couple of squatties responding to him, and I was just like, what's going on? And I went and found out this exact same thing. Yeah, they are trying to take away his disabled privileges. And apparently they had done it once before and they're trying to do it again. So it's just like, you know what? Yep, even on him. And again, I have a respect for vets and whatever, because again, this guy, I think he lost an arm and a leg or something in the war. So whatever. That's one of the reasons I was like, you know what? Even though I am furious for what he said to Harry, I'm just going to delete my tweet. I don't want to, in any way. But when I saw this, I was like, karma came and took care of it. And again, for a vet, for the sake of the fact that he served his country, for the sake of the fact that he is truly has disabilities, I even though for what he did to Harry, in my heart is like, good, karma is getting you. As a vet and as a black man, because I know for us black people, we get the worst of the worst of the worst. I hope, even though I feel like you don't deserve it for what you did, I hope it's being taken away from him, that he's able to still access, because some people is like, you know what, you don't deserve it, but okay, here, you know. And so I hope they don't take it away, but if they did, karma, you know. But it's really sad that to see a fellow vet do that to Harry. It just, ugh. And again, he went and did all these interviews as well. And it was just, and then he just has this cocky attitude. And so that's why at first I was like, karma getting you. But then even though he doesn't deserve it, I still, again, he is legitimately has disabilities. And I don't wish services to be taken away from any person who has a legitimate disability. So, and especially if the person that served the country, as a vet, it's just, yeah, I feel I'm complicated. I feel like this complex feelings about the whole thing. So, but yeah. Let's see who else is chatting. New comments. I'm gonna scroll all the way down. Let's see. V, V doesn't feel the same. She's like, I hope they take it away and keep disrespecting him. So V doesn't have any of the compassion that I felt at all. Totally fine. I mean, your feelings are completely valid. I believe me, I had to work to get to this place because I was feeling the same. My first instinct was good they take it away from you. And then I had to check myself, like, okay. And consider all the other things that are, that it's not just that there are other things as well. So I just had to be like, okay. But totally V, I totally hear you. I totally get it. Very valid feeling. Let's see. Um, Scrolling up. Let's see. Oh wait, today's Annie's birthday. Oh hey, happy birthday, Annie! Wow, what you doing for your birthday? If you're anything like my friends, you've been celebrating the whole month and you'll be celebrating the whole other month. I have one of my best friends, like her birthday was in the middle of the month and she's still celebrating. She's gonna be celebrating this weekend too. I don't know what it is with some people and their birthdays. Like it's a whole month of celebration. So I wish that for you, Annie, that you're celebrating the whole month. Happy birthday to you. I love all these little emojis. It's so cute. Um, Jacqueline just went emoji crazy there. I love it. Let's see. Sherry Ware says he was so quick to sling mud against Harry and forgot forget about protecting your fellow soldiers. Now he needs to be protected, and no one's there for him. Karma. Now there you go. Very valid point. Very valid point. You would have thought a fellow veteran who would understand to not be going after an. I mean, why? That just did not make any sense to me at all. To be calling out and trying to shame and telling another a vet to shut up when they are, trying to deal with their traumas, especially their experience in war. I mean, that is just I, I would never understand that. I would never understand that. So yeah, karma is definitely you know, doing the thing there. Let's see. Um, and I'm trying to figure out in this thing how to do because I'd love for some of you guys to call in, but I'm not able. I just can't figure out how to one do my comment, and two, how to post it. Again, I've never done it on my phone before, so I'm like, how do you post it so that way? Um, let's see. Hang on one second. I can't even find the. Huh. No, I think I just went away there for a second. I'm not sure what happened. I was trying to figure out how to because I'd love to, if someone want to call in, but I can't even figure out how to do it on this. It's so weird how to figure out how to find the link, and also too how to post it so that way someone could call in. So I don't know at this moment how to do that. So I think I'm probably just gonna have to stay in the chat because when I did, it just sort of kicked me out. So sorry about that, guys. Um, let's see. I hope you guys can still hear me. So if you can just give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me, because I just came back in. So just give me a thumbs up or let me know if you can still hear me. I don't know. Doing this on my phone is a little bit treacherous. Let's see. Um, let's see. Wait, Julia Rock is here. Hey, Julia Rock. How are you? Okay, so I'm getting thumbs up. Did I go away for a second there? Were you guys okay? Lydia's like, yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, that was just really weird. It just literally kicked me out, and I had to come back in. So, let's see. I'll just let's see comments. What else is going on? Um, uh, Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to check where we are with our fundraiser. That's still going. I think we're over 84,000. Again, we're going until June 4th. Baby Lilibet, who's not a baby anymore. You know how they get when they get to that age. I mean, I would be, I would be when I was teaching as like 15-month old. They did not appreciate being thought of as babies. They're like, I know baby. I would get that all the time. I know baby. I know baby. So it used to be big girl and big boy. So I'm assuming Lilibet is in that I know baby stage. But her birthday is obviously coming up on June 4th, and that's when it ends. And I don't know if we're going to be doing another one because we normally do that one, and then we do one for Harry and Meghan's birthdays. So who knows? Um, but this one is going great. Kaboom is, they are again 100% of the funds going to them. So it's really exciting. Um, Sylvia says, Petal, what's going on in the Big Apple near you today? Well, I would. Leslie and I were talking the other day about the sailors coming in. I have no idea where they are. They're somewhere. I haven't seen them. Not much is happening in the city. I mean, well, just I don't know, New York just being busy as usual. it doesn't. I mean, it's actually really, really, really busy. So I'm assuming a lot of New Yorkers are not going out of town. Um, Maybe because the weather is so nice, and a lot of people seem to be in the city. Normally, when there's like a long weekend, it kind of gets emptied out a little bit because people are going upstate, or they're going wherever to the beach somewhere and out of the city. But it seems like the city is just extra busy, and so yeah, it's just yeah, we're just very busy, and it looks more like people are coming into the city more than they're going out. Summertime in New York is always exciting because there's always performances all over the place. There are movies being shot. Like there was a movie being, oh shoot, and I forgot to take a picture and send it to you guys. There was a movie being shot right on my block recently. There's like they're always seeing filming around, movies filming around. I'm literally looking at I guess, a model shoot in front of me right now. It's just like all stuff is always happening um, around. So, but other than that, it's New York is just quiet, and I can getting back to what it usually is for the summer. So, I don't know. It's a little bit maybe maybe people are just sort of gonna stay in the city and enjoy the city instead of going away as usual. So who knows? But so that's what's going on. Not a whole lot. And theater is back up to what it normally is. So people are often going to the theaters and stuff like that. Talk about theater, guys. Are you guys? Did anybody see the Little Mermaid with what's her name? Halle Bailey. I think the little girl is the little black girl who is now the Little Mermaid. And I heard it's so good. I saw like on Rotten Tomatoes, that's the reviewing site. It's like audience reviews like 90%, 90 something percent. I mean, people seem to really love it. Young kids love it. And so, I hope it does well. I mean, if you're into Disney and all that stuff, I don't know. So if you guys have seen it, let me know. Um, I'd love to see, get your take on it. Also, one of the things that I saw a couple days ago, I mean, as we know, Tina Turner passed recently. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to put a link to it. Lizzo did a tribute to Tina Turner, and I love Lizzo. And it was just, I was like, thank you, Lizzo. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, so I'll put a link to it later when I could get on my laptop. But it is just fantastic. I was like, you go, Lizzo, bringing Tina's energy. So it was really awesome. Let's see. Coming back to Philip Schofield stuff. 1960 TLM. Okay, let's see what 1960 TLM. I don't know that I've seen her here before. Let's see. Coming in late regarding Philip S. coming out as gay, extremely different than being a pedophile. Why are they making this the same thing? Gay people are not pedophiles. Pedophiles are pedophiles. Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. And this is what they did. Instead of when he came out, that was to cover this. They were, instead of ITV dealing with this issue, grooming and being a pet, at least he claimed that, nothing happened until the kid was of legal age, but it's still, maybe it's not illegal what he did, but still grossly unethical, still grooming a child, still abusing his power because he was in a more powerful position there at ITV, of this child. It's not the same thing. And instead of dealing with this and outing this and firing him, then they covered it up and had this big coming out of Philip Schofield coming out. Yeah, you are absolutely correct. Just because somebody being gay, there's nothing to do with them being a pedophile, And so it's just what they did is they used the gay community to cover over this exact thing. And it's the same thing, according to Violent Investigates, that Dan Wooten and the Sun did. Instead of outing this exact thing, they had this big coming out article where he gave Philip Schofield gave the Sun this exclusive about him coming up instead of them outing this. And so you're absolutely correct in this. It's gross all the way around what they did, and so unbelievable. Um, let's see. Scrolling down. Annie says we are our fundraiser is now at $85,345 as of 7 hours ago. So thank you so much, Annie. There we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that update. Oh wait, Little Mac. I just saw. Little Mac says so Schofield, and his brother had a relationship with children. His brother is in jail now for his actions. He should be next. And that's the thing, and that was what was so hypocritical about that whole thing, which is what I mean. I remember tweeting like, "Wait a minute, didn't Philip Schofield have the same issues?" And he was talking about what his brother did, and I guess he was either disappointed in what his brother did, and I was like, "But you did the same thing, though." So where again, these people, it's kind of like, where do you come off having going on this platform and condemning your brother when you did the exact same thing? It's just like, I mean, take a look at yourself in the mirror before you decide to condemn someone and own up to it's like, kind of like taking, seeing the plank in somebody's eyes and failing to realize, so seeing what is the speck in somebody's eyes and failing to realize you have a whole plank in your own eyes. And according to biblical scriptures, it's like, take out your plank so that way you can see clearly, other people. But if you have a plank, where do you get off trying to condemn someone else or trying to put down someone else's, speck? And not that his brother had a speck, they both had planks, but, you should be taking out your own plank and deal with your own mess, before you could even get to his brother. So it's just unbelievable that they did, what he thought he could get away with. And so that's why I think Omid tweeted today about, he hoped that others who are hiding even worse. And I'm like, well, what could be worse than that? I just like, this is about as bad. It's like, what could be worse? But apparently there is worse. There is worse. So he's like, that's why Omid's like, he hopes the ring of secrecy or the ring of protection that some of them have around them would be stripped away and they'd be outed as well. So yeah, a lot of them they're gonna be going through some things, some serious things. Um, let's see. Sylvia talking about the Little Mermaid. She says, "Oh, she's talking to Lydia. I'm also going tomorrow with some little ones in the family to see the Little Mermaid." Ew, that's so sweet. So we need a review, okay, Sylvia. So when you see it, so I would suggest by well, I'll hopefully do a podcast on Monday. You could give us a Little Mermaid review, and that that movie is Megan's favorite movie because I remember her referencing in the Harry and Meghan. Was it the docu series or was it the Oprah Winfrey interview? I want to believe it's the Oprah Winfrey interview where she talked about how she how the Little Mermaid is, I guess, one of her favorites, about how the Little Mermaid losing her voice or something like that. Again, I don't know that I've ever watched, to be honest. I don't know that I've ever watched the whole of the Little Mermaid. I know the Under the Sea song, the Under the Sea, and I saw it on Broadway because it was a Disney thing, and I used to work for Disney theatricals here, and so I saw the play, but I don't know that I saw I don't know that I saw the movie itself. But anyway, Megan referenced that about losing her voice, and then getting it back when I guess leaving the royals and stuff like that, or at least leaving the UK and being a working royal. So I think this is where. So I'm assuming because she loved it so much, and because we remember how Lilibet rescued Disney in that messed up thing with Ron DeSantis with Florida's craziness, I would assume that Archie and Lily will be seeing, the Little Mermaid. So it would be kind of cute if they all went off to the movie theater to watch the Little Mermaid, or they may get a special screening from Disney, since again Lilibet rescued Disney. So there you go. That was a funny little thing. Let's see. Donna Black says the journalist named Chris, I don't have his last name, but he literally said that if Prince Harry rejoins the cult slash royal family, he can have security. That's blackmail. Oh God, they're on this. You are. they a lot of them are on this. I mean, I don't know if you mean Chris Ship. He blocked me, so I don't know. I don't ever see a tweet unless someone posts like a screenshot or something. So I can't see. I don't know what he posts. But if that's what you're talking about, him and a lot of them, now that they, last week, or just after the debacle in New York, all of them were on this. Harry is leaving Meghan, is renting some room or something in California away from Meghan. And then it was Meghan is going off the parties without Harry. And now it's they're gonna be moving back to the UK, and then Harry could. I mean, it's just they're looking for anything. They're like throwing anything at the wall to see what can stick. And yes, this has been a narrative there, especially the last couple of days. It's been ramping up about Harry, especially Harry. But some people are saying that they could come back and they can get their they can get their security back, and Charles should make sure that happens. And all in all, what they're doing is that they just want stories to fill their column inches. That's what they want to do. If Harry and Meghan come back, they know they are guaranteed to be able to get something that'll be exciting for their readers to read, and so they can make money. So this is the latest of Harry coming back to the royal family and be a working royal, and then he will of course get security and all of that stuff. And yes, it is blackmail. It is despicable. Yes, absolutely. Um, it's unbelievable. It's like these, and it's so funny. It's just watching the narcissism. It just between the royal family, the British press, it is just such a narcissistic. Because it's like if you look up narcissism and all the traits, you can literally tick all of it next to the royal family and the British press and their horrible trolls, especially onto it. They all fit it. It's unreal. Yet these very same people are the ones that try to label Meghan as that. And Meghan has done none of these things. And it's unbelievable. Just when you think they were got used to the idea of Harry and Meghan not being there, we're back to this. The cycle of. Um, Kathy Gabby says, "Hey, Paddle. Hey, Kathy Gabby. How are you, my dear?" Kathy says, "Hey, squad. He was quick to say he did nothing illegal now that the individual is of age." Yes, exactly. And yeah, of course, he's trying, he doesn't want to go to jail. His brother's in jail, so he doesn't want to go there. So, of course. But, whether I'm assuming that kid who this is all happening, who this happened to, who did this too, I would assume that there's a confidentiality agreement there. And what I'm understanding is that that expires soon. Someone is saying that it expires in July, so that's why this is all coming out now. So to get ahead of whatever this kid is going to say, I don't know. I don't have verification on this, but that is what I'm hearing. And so, yeah, now he is saying it's not illegal, but it would be very interesting to hear from the kid's perspective. Again, that was the kid that was tweeting about this 2 years ago. That's how we found out about this 2 years ago. So it would be very interesting to hear if he says that, it happened before. Would I be shocked? Would anybody be shocked? No, absolutely not. No one would be shocked if Philip Schofield is lying. No one would be shocked. So if the kid decides to, I mean, now he's not a kid anymore. He's a 20-year-old man now, but a 20-year-old young man. But it would be very interesting. I hope he speaks out about it. Um, you know, but again, he's like with, I can't imagine how traumatic and stuff is, especially the fact that it's open. It's everybody. Oh, there's a sailor. I have to take a picture. I This is the first sailor that I'm seeing. It's like, and there's only one. So I literally have to take a picture of this sailor so that oh, where did he go? Wait, yes. Hopefully he comes back out. This is the first sailor that I've seen. So if he sort of is hiding behind this post, so if he comes out, I will take a picture and I will post it in our community page so you can see I saw a sailor. You're getting it in real time. That's so funny. My first sailor experience. Unbelievable. Anyways, let's see. Um, this is what happens when you do a live outside and people are walking by. You never know who you might see. It's like a fashion shoot in front of me and a sailor. Let's see. Sylvia Dixon says the most awful things as well was when talking heads said Harry and Meghan planned the New York City incident because of Harry's security case that was coming up the next day. These people are shameful. It is absolutely despicable. It is absolutely despicable. And again, we talked about, I mean, a lot of things about that in the whole incident and the way how the police handled it, the way how the mayor handled it, and the silence and secrecy that has gone on between them. It's really gives you pause that you know that when people do stuff like that, it means that there is more to this than than that they're saying, and then because they're not saying anything, it gives the media and especially the tabloids room to sort of play up in it and paint a narrative, and then of course and their trolls will take that, and then all of a sudden that becomes fact, and by the time the truth, whatever it is, comes out, nobody would pay attention because they've all taken the lie as a fact, and it just makes it really 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 despicable. And so, I'm so mad that I can't figure out this thing of how, because I'd love for people to call in, and I can't figure it out on my phone how to do it without getting kicked out again. So I am sorry, guys. Um, Darlene Vendress. Hi, Darlene. Darlene says that Channel 5 in the UK is showing a documentary on Harry, secrets of his Hollywood life. Watching with one eye, so-called expert featured 20 minutes in, and that's all I got, Darlene. I'm not sure whatever you're saying. I mean, it's so funny with all this supposed stuff coming out of Hollywood. I mean, out of Hollywood from the British media, and I'm assuming this Channel 5 you mentioned is, yeah, it's Channel 5 in the UK is, if you notice, nobody in Hollywood and none of the US outlets are reporting any of this stuff. No one in the US is reporting any of this stuff, but somehow people on another continent would get all this supposed, gossip in a country that's a continent away. And it's just like, you people it's just ridiculous. From a bunch of people who don't even understand the geography of California. That is just like, really? So it's I mean, good, you have the patience of a saint to sit there and watch that, but it's just like, seriously, you know they're talking about how much Harry is going to have to pay in taxes, and it's just like, well, yeah, like any other American, we pay taxes here, royal or not, they pay, you're here, they're here as private citizens. It stands to reason they have a property, there's property tax. That's just normal in the US. So you just, basically just saying the sky is blue or fish swim in the ocean. That's all that is. So, let's see. Wendy Loman says, by denying Harry's security, the UK press and the monarchy is making it easy for Harry to never return to the UK, eventually taking out his US citizenship. Glory to God, hallelujah, if that happens. Because that's why I am not all upset when they said no to Harry with the security in the UK. I was just like, that means Meghan and the kids don't ever have to go back there. I am happy about that. I am not sad about that at all because I don't trust any of those people. I seriously do not trust the British police or Metropolitan Police to support to secure them at all. Because why? So many of those cops were in those WhatsApp groups saying all those nasty racist thing against Meghan. So, I don't trust any of them. So that's why I wasn't all that upset when they said no for the police, Harry to get police, to have police protect his family. I wasn't all upset when the judge said no. I was just like, sure, that means, they don't have to go back there. So if Harry, again, it's Harry's homeland. If he wants to go, totally understand. You know, Maybe there come a day when he realized that it's just not worth it. But that's his home. That's where he grew up. I totally get it. But If he comes a day where he's like, this ain't worth it, I'd be like, glory, hallelujah. I'll be very happy. So yeah, absolutely. If I really decide to become a US, I mean, not that the US doesn't have its issues here, US have a lot of issues, especially when the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, is now will be running for president. If and I tweeted this the other day, I hope Americans aren't making the same mistake, which it looked like we're doing, making the same mistake we did with Trump, where he's sort of mocking DeSantis with his nonsense in Florida. People were mocking Trump the same way, and we had to suffer through 4 years of horror with that orange mess in the White House. So Ron DeSantis is better than Trump. He understands law. He's more educated. He is more in tune with it, and he is vicious. And if you see what he's doing in Florida, imagine if he becomes a president of this country, what he would do in this country. Black people, oh Lord, we are back to Jim Crow. This is where we're going. I mean, again, Florida. So I'm like, so the US have its issues. We have our issues. We have Fox News on a daily basis, destroying democracy. We have the MAGA. We have a lot of issues here. But because of this, I guess the size of it and stuff, you have less of a, bubble that you can, you don't have the bubble that the UK is, where everybody is just this group think. America is very diverse, and I mean, gosh, in one city it's so diverse, and so we are in all different ways. So everybody has a voice, and everybody has a platform, and you know what I mean. In the UK, less so. It's more of groupthink in a lot of ways, even though they do have differences. But you more get the royalists, sort of, or at least the right wing media, basically controls the narrative there. The US, you have a little bit more of a diverse thing. So it's a little bit better for them, here than there. But, we'll see. We'll see where we are. Um, Wendell says, Mama Jane, exactly. He would not put his family in jeopardy. Yep. Hence, we saw Meghan and kids stayed home for the coronation. Good. Um, oh my gosh. Madwell says Ron DeSantis is one step away from banning black people from Florida, in my opinion. I'm telling you, it's back to Jim Crow there. And to the point where the NAACP has issued a travel advisory for black people to not go to Florida, or at least think real long and hard if Florida is where you want to go. I have had this thing with Florida for years. I refused to go to Florida long before Ron DeSantis, because they have a lot of snakes and alligators. That was my thing. I've never set foot in Florida because of that. But this whole business with Florida now, I would never, ever even consider going to Florida. And that is why the NAACP put out an advisory this past week to black people: do not go to Florida, or think really long and hard if that's where you want to go. And the thing about Florida is, it seems like the Floridians have been rendered mute with all the mess that Ron DeSantis, I mean, they literally banned Amanda Gorman's poem that she did at the last inauguration. A poem, because one parent who is a right wing white supremacist, literally support the Proud Boys, complained about Amanda poem. I mean, when she even filed the complaint to ban the book, she said she put in the complaint that the book was written by Oprah Winfrey. She didn't even know who was the author of the book. I mean, of the poem, of Amanda Gorman's poem, and they banned the poem from the school. And it's like, this is where we are in Florida. They are banning books, taking books off shelves. I mean, it's just craziness. And people in Florida seem to have been rendered mute because nobody is protesting, nobody's saying a word. And if they are, it's definitely not making the news. And so it's just like, where are the people of Florida? Because you saw what happened in Tennessee recently when they, when the Senate, whatever, the legislature, whatever in Tennessee, they decided to kick out two black raps, and the white lady, they kept the lady, but the two black raps they kicked out, and Tennessee was not having it. They were like, they protested, they were on the streets, they were marching, they were in the house, they were like, and within a week they had to reinstate them. Then my thing is, well, where are the people of Florida? What happened to where are the Floridians? Where are the black people? Why aren't you protesting all this mess? And nobody is saying a word. They're just sort of been rendered mute. It's like again, I said from the moment Megan's case was filed in Florida, it's go be mass. And a year and something later, we still have a Samantha Markle case still going on against her sister. Because again, Florida. So, and this is where I'm like, can we just like secede from Florida? Is that a thing? It's just like, I don't understand why. It's just like, I don't get it. Um, Whitland says, yep, come on, Has, get your U.S. citizenship. Defend the red, white, and blue from enemies, both foreign and domestic. I can't wait. The British go lose their mind. That would be amazing. That would, oh my goodness. They would be flipping because what, I mean, I don't know what they will do if they find out that Harry, I mean, again, he would have to, one, not only swear allegiance, but he would have to, basically denounce or just renounce his, his line, his place in the line of, to whatever you call it, line of succession, whatever in the royal. I mean, he has to give all of that stuff up. And so I'm just like, that would be interesting. I don't know that Harry would ever do that. I think Harry loves his country. He loves his people. I mean, this whole thing with the court case is because he truly believes the people have been brainwashed and bamboozled by the press, and he basically wants to save them. And yes, Harry does have a savior mentality. He wants to save people and all of that stuff. And I'm like, Harry, I don't know that these people I don't know that they deserve you trying to save them. But, whatever. He really loves his people. And I don't think Harry would, I don't think he would do that. And I think if any country Harry decides to become a citizen, I don't know that it would be the US. I think it would be some country in Africa. I would think that if Harry were to give up his British citizenship, I wouldn't think it would be the US unless him and Megan, decide to that, yes, this is where they'll spend forever. I don't see it. Harry loves Africa. He always feels like, different countries in Africa is like his second home. So I don't, yes, the US is his home right now, but if he were to give up his citizenship, I would think it would be a country in Africa that he would go to. Yeah. Let's see. Sylvia, I think Sylvia, you're it, I guess, says, true. I truly hope Harry knows the goodness he have with Meghan and the children. In my opinion, he needs to take stock of some of the friends and cousin list again. I feel people can be jealous sometimes. Very true. Very true. I mean, yeah, that cousin list, sometimes you look at it and you're like, yeah. And it's very funny because we talk about cousins and going back to Pierce Morgan a little bit. Piers Morgan did a sit down with, what is her name? She is like this fake historian, Harper. I think her name is Tess. Oh shoot, I think it's Tess something on Twitter. So she was on his show, and she regularly goes on his show, and I've seen clips of them yelling at each other. And she, I think, goes on it a lot because she just wants the attention, and she comes on Twitter and tweets about it. So she just wants, attention. So she was on their show recently, and I remember, what was it, a month ago or so, that Beatrice was out with Piers Morgan and his wife and a group of them, and their photos, which we actually touched on here, about with her hugging Piers Morgan. So Piers Morgan talked about that event, and because the woman was saying, she was saying something about it, and Piers Morgan literally says he was out for dinner or something with Beatrice and Eugenie. So I was giving Eugenie the benefit of a doubt because we didn't see, like they said, she had left early, so we didn't see any picture literally with her and Piers Morgan. But Piers Morgan said he was just out to dinner with both Eugenie and Beatrice. So Eugenie, according to Piers Morgan, was there. I was giving her a little bit of a pass because I'm like, well, she didn't quite, we didn't see a photo of her. So I was giving her a little bit of grace, only to find out from Piers Morgan's own lips that yes, she was there at the dinner. So it's like, okay, there's that. So yeah, I mean, I would think they're both trying to protect their husbands and trying to make sure their husbands stay out of the crosshairs of the press. And so, invisible contracts are very visible. So let's see. Um, I'm just gonna scroll all the way down and come back up. Get some new comments. Um, Leslie Ann Hector. Hello, Leslie Ann. Leslie Ann says the Cubans here run Florida, and most of us here don't have a voice, or else they find the problem with try. I'm not sure what you were saying at the bottom. It says a problem with try H us. I'm not sure what you mean there, but I have a question though, Leslie Ann, with Cubans in Florida because they seem to have run away from Cuba, and you would think that they would run away from any kind of government that resembles what they left in Cuba. But for somehow most of them are voting for Ron DeSantis, who represents basically what they supposedly ran away from Cuba. So I don't really get the Cubans in Florida. Like, I don't get, because again, Cuba is very much obviously, I'm sorry, Florida is very, Cubans are, basically have a huge population there. The majority of them vote Republican, and the majority of them put Ron DeSantis right where he is. So I don't understand Cubans. Ron DeSantis pretty much hate black people. And so is it that they're just trying to, they're just, because a lot of them are white passing, so they'd rather be with Ron DeSantis, but he's kind of represents just what they supposedly left in Florida, in Cuba. So I mean, it's just, I don't understand. I don't understand. So maybe y'all can explain Florida and the Cubans to me, because I literally don't understand why they would support Ron DeSantis. I don't get it. Um, Gwendolyn says, I don't trust Eugenie anymore. I know. When I saw that, I was like, oh, wow. I was kind of giving her grace. And like, maybe I didn't see a picture, even though they said she was there, but had left early. So I was thinking maybe she left before Piers Morgan got there. But apparently, according to him, he had dinner with both of them that were there. So very interesting. Um, Tessa Dunlop. Thank you, Tessa Dunlop. There you go. That was who was on Piers Morgan. Thank you very much. Sometimes I forget their names. There's so many of them. It's like I forget who is who. So yes, that was the one who was with Piers Morgan, and was say when Piers Morgan said that he had dinner with Eugenie and Beatrice. Thank you. So that's why I love this community, because when I forget something or I don't remember or don't know, y'all just know it, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Tessa Dunlop, who also now going, oh, she does. I didn't realize she goes on TMZ a lot now to talk about Harry and Meghan. She is supposedly this historian, but I think she's completely fake. I don't see what history I don't know. She claims to be a historian. I'm like, you're one fake historian. For me, it's just she just wants attention. And so I didn't know. I know I've seen her on clips from GMB, but I didn't know that she goes on TMZ also. I mean, gosh, gross, utterly gross. Let's see. Joyce says, hello, Joyce Voss. Joyce says, Harry loves Meghan and the children, but I don't think he'll give up his UK citizenship. I don't think so either. Diana was British, and out of loving his mother, also, he will keep this connection. I think so as well. And again, even apart from his mom, I think Harry just loves his people. He loves his country. He doesn't love the press, obviously, and the relationship they have with the royal family, obviously. But he loves his people. He loves his people in spite of all the mess that they have done to him over the last few years. He loves them. And so I don't see Harry giving up his I mean, we could be very wrong on this too. Harry could be like, I'm done with them, I'm out. He could be there as well. So you never know. So let's see. Bonnie says Testament Dunlop. Thank you, Bonnie. It's like another name for Tessa. Testament. Let's see. Wendy says Harry's wife and daughter are Americans. Why not America? And also Archie is, I'm sure, has dual citizenship, I would assume. So yes, thank you, Terry. Tessa, yes. Let's see. Um Anfu says, as a British subject, I am entitled to dual citizenship. Do you want that though, Anne? Yeah, sure. Definitely. So absolutely. Let's see. Margie says, I'm not seeing notices if of these podcasts again. I just happen to bump into them when I go on YouTube. What's happening? YouTube is weird, Marjorie. This happens sometimes, and it happens to me sometimes. Like I can't tell the last time I got an alert from Barron's or Duchess of Success. So what I usually have to do is uncheck the notification bell and recheck it again, and then it works sometimes. I don't know why that happens. I really don't. I could not tell you why it happens, but it happens, and it happens to a lot of us, and it's happened to me quite a few with other channels that I follow as well. So uncheck the notification and then check it again, and hopefully that works. But I am happy you're here. I am very, very happy you're here. um let's see. Oh, cuss, stop it. Don't you just hate it when you're my Fitbit watch is like, get up and go walk. I'm like, shut up. I'm doing a podcast. Stop beeping at me. I was just like, I was walking before. I have like, I think I set it up like a 1,600 steps or something. I don't remember, something like that. So 16,000 steps or whatever it is. And so if I'm not walking, it's like beeping at me to get up and walk. It's like, shut up. I was walking. Let me do my thing. I'll walk when I'm ready. These are the conversation I have with my Fitbit watch. Don't ask. Lydia, our awesome moderator, says when Harry and Meghan were being abused in the UK before departing, neither the York sisters spoke in their defense or were seen out socially with Meghan. Fair weather friends and family. I'm telling you, completely fair weather. Completely fair weather. My thing is always like, look, if you can't stick up for me in times of trouble, then you're just not a friend. You're not a person that can't, that I can trust that could speak up for me at all. And you're so right. They didn't. We saw, when Harry and Meghan left, that Harry and Meghan graciously allowed her and her family to live in their home. When Meghan did the initiative that she was doing, 40 by 40 initiative. Eugenie took part of it. We know that, but that's safe, right? She's never stood up and spoken out in support and be like, call out the press again, protecting her husband and, don't want to be in the crosshairs of the press. Look, I get it. But at some point, you know, it's just like, if you can't stand up for me in those times of need, then you're not really a friend, right? I can't really call you a friend. I can't really call you, um, you know, someone that I can trust. And again, knowing that she just had lunch with Pierce Morgan. I mean, ew. Like, ew, ew, ew. The whole family. It's just, ew. And that's why I don't understand why the British people feel like they have to raise up the royal family. It's like when things go bad, they're not going to stand up for you. You know, when things are horrible in your country, they're not going to sit there and put their necks out on a limb for you. Yes, they will take you 250 million pounds to go do a coronation. Yes, they'll take you 160 whatever pounds to do a grand funeral, or how much they ever paid for the jubilee nobody asked for back last year. They'll do all that. But when you're in times of trouble, they're not going to stand up for you. And so it's like, and they show that within their family. It's just, it's gross. It is just so gross. Let's see. Um, Sylvia, I think you're it today. Sylvia says, Linda, you're so right. Megan was going through the fire, and when pregnant with Archie, I believe Megan would have given Eugenie a thank you if Eugenie had stuck up for her. Where was Eugenie? Yeah, it's just, yeah. I don't know. I, oh God, it's just sad. That whole situation with Megan and that family, it's just, oh, royalty just is not worth it. It really, really just is not worth it. Um, Compton Gallagher says Beatrice knew what she was doing by putting her sister in the same place as Eugenie. They probably trying to steal her cell phone. I'm assuming you mean, yeah, I'm assuming you meant Pierce Morgan, but they're basically trying to steal us. Look, if you go around, I said this before, it's just so right, Compton Caligal. If you are stupid enough to put yourself in any kind of close proximity to Pierce Morgan, you deserve to get hacked because you know what Pierce Morgan is like. What Pierce Morgan has done for his entire journalistic career is this. I mean, is exactly what Alistair Campbell talked about in the hearing earlier this week about Pierce Morgan. He would pretend he's your friend and come in and try to pretend to get close to you, but what he is looking for is either to hack you or get one of his people to blag you. If you are stupid enough to know this information is not secret, it's been there. It has been there. Levinson was what, 2011, 2012, whenever Levinson, this stuff has been out there since then. So if you're stupid enough to put yourself in the proximity of Pierce Morgan, then, and especially now, that this case is going on, maybe you didn't realize it before, maybe because, again, the British press hides things and stuff like, hacking and blagging. The mainstream media, if Harry is not there and you're not talking about Harry or somebody, they're not going to cover it. So many people may not have known. I even look at Megan before she met Harry. She did, there is, receipt where Pierce Morgan followed her on Instagram and or is it Twitter, one of them. And, she followed back and she's like, oh, thank you, whatever. Did they meet in the UK? Yes, Morgan said they did. There's no evidence whether they did or not. So obviously, that message that Pierce Morgan issued didn't come to the US. We didn't know anything about that stuff. We're learning about it now. So, but when since Megan has found out what Pierce Morgan is, she stayed away from me. She doesn't even, she's never responded to him. So if you know now what Pierce Morgan is and you are still putting yourself, Tessa Dunlop included, because she's always on the show, and all the other people that want to go on her show, Martina Navratilova, and all of those people who's been on her show. If you know now what Pierce Morgan has done, and you're still putting yourself there, then if he hacks you, it's on you, because you know. The same goes for Eugenie and Beatrice. If he hacks them, it's on them. They totally deserve it, because again, they know exactly what he is, and they still do it. So it's on them. So if stuff comes out from, Eugenie's phone or something, don't be surprised. Again, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm not saying he did, but judging from his past history, this is what he is. So again, It's on you if you allow his, you allow yourself to go, in close proximity to him. So unbelievable. Donna Black says Meghan does not consider herself a part of the institution since she left. Meghan tells Prince Harry that's his family. Meghan is done with those people. Again, yeah, I mean, as long as she's married, she is technically part of the family, but yeah, they're not part of the institution of the monarchy. Obviously, they left that. And according to Harry, of course, during Spare, when he was doing interviews for Spare, Harry made it clear that there's no way he's going back there. So, you know, there you go. Madwell says makes you wonder what dirt Pierce Morgan has on them because the luncheon was a photo op. I'm telling you, yeah, Backgrid actually, that same Backgrid UK took those photos, and so definitely was a photo op. And Beatrice wasn't, if she was trying to hide it, you wouldn't be hugging Pierce Morgan at the entrance of any base. If you want to hug it and hide it, you do it inside where there's no press. But she waited until outside to give him a big hug. And, obviously he talked about it on his show. So there you go. Let's see. Moving down. Let's see. Gwendolyn says, Eugenia's made a mess. She must lay. She may have lost Harry and Meghan. Who knows? I don't even know if Harry and Meghan have not been, I don't know that they're on, they have access to social media or on it. I know publicly they do not have social media, but who knows? Don't even know if they know about it. So, um, let's see a few more comments before we end, and I run off and get some food. Um, let's see. Huh, very interesting. 1960 TLM, she's saying, I think Beatrice set up Eugenie too. Eugenie didn't have photos with peers. They would have been all over the papers. You never really see the sisters together, only at royal events. Apparently, they're very close. I mean, I've seen them together. Yeah, you're right. I've seen them in royal events, and I mean, I'm not privy to what they do. I don't really follow them per se, other than something like this because it's brought, it's in the press. But I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, I've never seen anything with Eugenie and Piers Morgan before. He has talked about them before that they're very nice girls, so obviously he knows them. But yeah, it would be very interesting to see how how Harry is with them. But even after Beatrice was with did it with Piers Morgan, when Harry was at the coronation recently, he was talking with Beatrice. He was walking into the service with Beatrice and her husband, and then they was sitting in the same row. So whether he knows or not, or whether he understands what happened, or whether I don't know. I mean, he was laughing and talking with them, so who knows? Um, or it could just be because he knows the camera is there and he's not going to make a fuss about stuff. That could be it as well. Um, Little Max says that is why Harry and Meghan didn't fight for Frogmore, which they loaned to one of the Andrew sisters. She calls them the Andrew sisters. That's funny. That's very funny. Yeah, and it's so funny because now the reporting. I don't know if you guys have noticed how the reporting about Frogmore, Harry and Meghan leaving, being asked to leave Frogmore has changed because when they left, it was Charles kicked out Harry and Meghan. Then it changed to, he asked them to leave because he wants Andrew to move there. And now the whole narrative about Andrew moving there is apparently completely fake because now Charles is not asking Andrew anything. He's not trying to pressure Andrew, apparently, to the point where Andrew is still the same the same perks that Andrew got from the Queen is still happening, including the palace, Windsor Castle, sending food over to Andrew apparently. And so this whole narrative of Andrew needing to leave the lodge to go over the Frogmore has apparently all been a lie to cover Charles's cruelty of just literally kicking Harry and Meghan out. And so it's very, I mean, these people just, oh my God. It's unbelievable to me. You just, nothing is what it seems. Nothing is straight. These people can't tell the truth. Even if it hit them, if it was a dumbbell and hit them over the head, they can't recognize the truth. So unbelievable. Let's see. That's funny, Miss Sadie. Channel 5, next Saturday documentary. Are Harry and Meghan popular in the USA? Can I ask a question? Are are people in the UK okay? I mean, are you guys okay? I mean, are Harry and Meghan popular in they do realize popularity in the US is not something that is, I mean, it's just like we don't, that's not how the US work. I again, UK people do not understand how this country works because again, the UK, for especially when they're dealing with royalty, is in a bubble. So it's like it's all about popularity, and if you're popular, and if people like you, and if you're not, and if people don't like you, then you can't succeed. And it's just this whole thing. They still haven't figured out that that's not how the US work. Yeah, maybe in politics a little bit it'll work. You have the popularity poll, for example, in politics and stuff. When you have polls and stuff like that, that's the only time that means anything in the UK. In the US, popularity for private citizens mean nothing. Literally, it literally means nothing. You can be the most hated person in the US, one of these, say Donald Trump, and still have a huge platform. You could, I mean, it's a very, it's just about every kind of belief or every kind of person have their niche audience in this country. We don't operate in a bubble. So that's why popularity in the US doesn't really mean anything. And so trying to explain that to these people, it's just, I think they've given up on their polls now because I haven't seen one of their popularity polls with the Sussexes in a long time. Ever since the Harry was the most popular at the coronation, I don't think I've seen a poll since. And so, so it's real. I'm like, I swear, in a lot of ways, the UK is the Florida of Europe because it's like, sheesh, it literally operates like Florida. Unbelievable. So anyway, a couple more before we end. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And the next time I will try to figure out if I have to use my phone again. I hope not to do this. I will figure out how to one use find myself in the chat so I can post where you can call in. So hopefully I don't have to do this on my phone again. But my pad still is not have enough charge on it. So let's see. All the Impossible says, Petal, allow Ron DeSantis to have his moment. He would soon realize when his power is not there anymore. Everything is for a while. I would say that if we didn't have the orange mess that was in the White House for 4 years, because people had this, were very much dismissing and laughing and mocking Trump, and then we had to deal with his mess for 4 years. Ron DeSantis is in a lot of ways much more educated, much more he understands the US and the law and the Constitution a lot better. Yes, he's a mess and he abuses it and he knows how to abuse it more than Trump. So he is a lot more dangerous for me. He's a lot more dangerous than Donald Trump. And so for me, that's why I don't take him, that's why I don't make fun of it and I take it seriously because again, we've had to live with that orange mess. So I do not want to have to live through this, Jim Crow um, you know, Nazi in the making person that that Ron DeSantis. I just, yeah. I mean, I don't think democracy will survive that kind of thing. So I mean, we're pretty much hanging by a thread as it is. I don't think the U.S. democracy in the U.S. will fall, and yeah. So that's why for me, I take it so seriously, and I'm like, I'm not here to give him a moment. I'm sorry, I feel very differently, or the impossible. I don't want to give him a moment because we did that with Trump, and look at what happened. We have not recovered from what Trump did to this country. So, and for Ron DeSantis or any Republican to get into the White House, democracy here is falling. So that's what I believe. So I could be wrong, of course. Um, TB says, quite frankly, we in the U.S. don't really care about the if the British think Harry and Meghan like Harry and Meghan or not. The British media operate in a bubble, yeah, and don't give their citizens all of the facts. No, and it's unfortunate to see some American, especially some in the so-called legit press, have been copying what the British press has done, and we've seen very starkly how they did that with what happened in New York last week. And so, yeah, we they definitely operate in a bubble, and this country is too big. I mean, there are over 333 million people in the U.S. The UK is like 50 something million. This is like, we have, you know, like the UK, I think it's just about the size of California, probably a little bit smaller, probably have the same, around the same population. That's one state in in the UK, in the US. I mean, the UK could literally fit into one state in the US. So it just, yeah, they we don't operate the same way, and so they still haven't figured that out. So it's just like not even California operates in a bubble. So um let's see. A couple more. I keep saying a couple more. Let's do one more before we end. Um Oh, very interesting. This is a different take. Laverta says, has anyone stopped to think that Eugenie may be Harry's connection to what's really going on? Very interesting. A very different take. Thank you, Laverta, for this different take. Food for thought. Food for thought. Maybe we shouldn't say that out loud. But it's a good, we've been looking at it from the other end, but who knows? This gets very interesting as well. Hmm. Very, very interesting. So thank you, Laverta. And I think we shall end there. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me. Thank you to our awesome moderators, um, uh, Lydia. Oh, I didn't see Trish Nelly. Maybe she was in the chat. I didn't see her. Cookies and Cream, Carrot M. Thank you all so much for always being amazing in the chat and taking care of our comments and keeping it safe and fun. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our Two Cents Crew members who support the channel on a monthly basis financially. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you so much to our Gold Star supporters who, you see in the chat supporting, whether it's super thanks, super stickers, super chat, PayPal, Cash App, some of them support that way as well. So thank you all so much for your support. And again, if you're new here, and you have not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and do so. Or if you've just been hanging out with us and just haven't, go ahead and subscribe. You'd have to be a subscriber for over a week to be in the chat, and I love everybody to come in the chat and hang with us. So, and then also too, share and like this video and help us to build the channel to just a larger platform. And if you're able to join our Two Cents Crew, that'd be awesome too. So thank you guys so much for hanging with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hopefully, I will actually have a podcast tomorrow. So I will be back and chat with you tomorrow, and hopefully have more, fun. Some of it's fun, some of it's not so much fun, but have some stuff to chat about tomorrow. So thank you guys. So I'm gonna take off Laverta's comment here, and we end it. I don't know where your comment went to, Laverta. So you're hanging out with me at the. You are just like hanging out with. Your comment is kind of like hanging out here. So let's see. Let's see how we can get Laverta's comment off. I mean, we're all grateful for Laverta's comments, exactly, So yeah. Um, hang on one second. Laverta. Um, You know what? How about we end with Mad World, and then we can get Laverta's comment to to comment out, so we can end this. Mad World, last comment. Mad World says, one thing I can say about the U.S. There's an opportunity for everyone to be successful if the opportunity is there. Oh, what a perfect way to end it. Absolutely. No matter what you're doing, you can have a successful life in the US. So, absolutely. Thank you, Mad World. We are going to end it there. So have a great day, everyone. Have a great. If I don't chat with you, if you're not on the, podcast tomorrow or Monday, have a great weekend. Hopefully, it's nice and cool where you are. And yep, we'll chat again soon. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.